Hey everybody, what is up? Tower of God chapter 600 is out and we are here with Garnek observing the fights, and Garnek actually says something really hilarious. She or he, I still don't know what it is, thinks that it is possible for Luslec to win. Just by common sense, this is impossible. This is physically impossible. I don't know what Garnek is smoking here, but Luslec alone with skills, even though he has all these skills and spells and tricks up his sleeve, it's nowhere near enough to overpower Urek. So yeah, I don't know what Garnek is talking about. Jinsung notes that if they keep fighting like this, Luslec might have an advantage, but I mean, what advantage is it going to be once Luslec's abilities have all been revealed? I mean, you can only have so many abilities until you run out and Urek figures out everything. So I mean, Luslec is just fighting on borrowed time here. I mean, eventually when he doesn't have any more surprises, Urek is just going to easily overpower him just with sheer strength. So Luslec pulls out one of his lethal abilities, and it's called Ghost. And he pulls out this plant that blooms out from his sprout, and it has like a face similar to his, and the top of it is kind of like covered. And Urek is just thrown off with this. He doesn't like it at all, and I feel him. I mean, that's a really creepy ability. And Luslec's ability quickly gets torn up as he is kicked to the side by Urek with a surprise attack, and Urek just rips it apart with ease. It's kind of funny how this plant dies. I mean, it has like a face on it, and then when Urek rips it apart, it actually screams in pain. I thought that was hilarious. And as soon as this plant dies, Luslec makes his big derp face, and it looks like Luslec actually did not expect that. So Urek and Luslec go at it with hand-to-hand combat, and Urek starts pushing him back, but Luslec is still holding his power in. He's not gonna go all out on Urek yet. Urek notices this and he gets kind of pissed off that Luslec is holding back on him, knowing that Urek is much stronger than him, but he still has the nerve to not put his full strength out there. As this is going on, there's chatter on the sidelines between Garnek, Jinsung Ha, and Kel Halam, and they're all like just contemplating about their future. They're like, God, if Luslec dies here, this means we're unemployed and we're no longer rich and powerful and scary anymore. We're just regular high rankers with no affiliation with anything. And what makes it better is one of the guys in Urek's ship is talking shit to them. He's saying that Wolhike-sung will be the #1 like clan in the tower now. And Garnek just says, oh, well, I mean, I don't really care, but now that you're bragging about it, now it bothers me a little bit. I didn't even know there was a guy in the ship. I thought it was only Urek, so I wonder who's in there. So back to the fight, Urek starts getting fed up with Luslec's shit, and he powers up his arm to 30%. So this is kind of like transformation, where they can transform one of their parts of their bodies to a certain level, and the other ones like aren't really developed. So I mean, that's what Urek kind of does here, which just shows how much control he has over his power and his body. So yeah, by 30% he powers up his left arm, and he just prepares the Fist of the Gorgons to Luslec. Before Urek can fire their attack, Luslec unveils his trap, and his trap was that plant that Urek destroyed, and he didn't actually destroy it. He just kind of like dispersed it across the air, and it just turned into little tiny particles, and eventually they were going to come back to get Urek in the ass, and sure enough, they did. This is actually a real lethal move by Luslec, and it's supposed to kill like any regular person he faces. And what this trap does is now it starts beating the absolute shit out of Urek. It starts cutting him all over the place, and we actually see Urek bleed and take damage. As this is going on, as Urek is getting the absolute shit slapped out of him, all of the other guys from Luslec's team, like Jinsung, Kel Halam, and Garnek, are talking to him via the pocket watch thing, and they're just like talking to Luslec casually, like, oh, as expected, you got this, like you understood it, you weren't really like just being all a clown and such. And then they brought up the orchid situation with Luslec, and that was actually a fuck up on his part. He didn't actually mean for that thing to get killed. I'm kind of curious what that move was supposed to do though. Now I guess we'll never see it. But yeah, Urek has had enough with all this shit, and he just blows up. Man, there's this badass panel where Urek is just charging his fists to get rid of all this bullshit Luslec threw at his face. And I had so much trouble figuring out what to use for the thumbnail because of these panels. I mean, SIU, gotta give it to him. He did an amazing job with the art in this chapter. Amazing moves, amazing panels, everything here. But I digress. So yeah, so as Urek does this, there's this huge face that's like below Luslec, and I don't know what this face is. I think this is Luslec's move because I mean he's been using these creepy faces all this like whole entire chapter, so I guess that's Luslec's ability dying. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if that's Urek's attack. I doubt it because it looks like it's in pain. But it looks like it's going to also swallow Luslec. Like it holds a lot of resentment. So, yeah. Pretty cool nonetheless. But, yeah, Luslec's attack and his, well, I guess not really an attack. I guess it's more of a spell. Is just completely destroyed. And Luslec even says that since his spell is based on the imperfections of the world, I mean, there's always a way to destroy it. I mean, just like Traumerai's spell with Leviathan, that thing was easily undone by Mom, but I guess Luslec's is more advanced in this case. And as we can tell by Urek's personality so far, I mean, he's staying consistent. He just breaks through things, doesn't even think about them twice. I mean, if you have the strength, might as well destroy it, right? And we end the chapter with Urek saying he is fucking strong. And expect that to get censored in the webtoon, just like a multitude of things have been censored in the official webtoon translations. So yeah, that's the end of the chapter. I really thought it was a good chapter, honestly. I mean, the art was amazing, like I said earlier. Just nothing short of amazing. You can really see Urek just doesn't care, and he has a lot of patience. I mean, Luslec is really pushing him here, even injuring him. I mean, at this point, Luslec is just like an annoying bug on Urek's back, and you know, Luslec is trying really hard. He's using all his skills. He's playing really tactically, and Urek is just brute forcing through everything. He doesn't even have to try thinking about it. So I'm not sure how Luslec plans to end this. I mean, at a certain point, you're gonna push Urek too far, and he's just gonna get fed up with you and just kind of kill you. You know? I mean, maybe Luslec will be gravely injured, but I'm not really sure. Urek doesn't really want to kill anyone just yet, like he said like 2 times already. So, I mean, I'm not really sure where this is going to go, but maybe another chapter of this last chapter is going to be the final chapter. Maybe Urek just goes 50% and gets it over with and goes to the great match and does what he wants to do. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave what you think below in the comments, what you think of this match between Urek and Luslec. I mean, it's obvious who's gonna win. It's not even a debate. Urek is clearly just toying with Luslec, and it's just not possible to overpower an irregular like Urek, the 4th strongest in a tower, who even beat R.A. Han. With all that said, thanks for watching the review, guys, and I will see you in the next chapter.